One of the things I love most about living here in Northeast Florida is that sometimes you really don't need much of a plan. I had a few days off recently, the weather was great, and I decided to get on the bike and head south down to historic A1A towards St. Augustine. No airport, no hotel reservation, no big itinerary, just a motorcycle, a gorgeous stretch of road, and a destination that's practically in my backyard. And it got me thinking about something we probably take for granted sometimes when we live here. In Florida, you really don't have to travel very far or spend a ton of money to feel like you're on vacation. There's something about riding A1A that always reminds me why so many people come to Florida for vacation in the first place. You've got the Atlantic Ocean just off to the side, little beach communities along the way, restaurants, parks, places to stop for coffee, and stretches of road where you can simply enjoy the ride. And when you live here, this isn't necessarily a once-a-year trip. This can just be a normal Tuesday. That's what I mean when I talk about the Florida lifestyle. It's not necessarily about living in a giant house on the ocean or spending every weekend at a resort. Sometimes it's simply having access to places other people save all year to visit. What's really interesting about Florida is just how quickly the scenery can change. You can start your morning watching the sunrise over the Atlantic Ocean, have lunch somewhere along the coast, and by that afternoon you could be riding through horse country, exploring one of Florida's natural springs, kayaking down a river, or driving along a quiet country road surrounded by live oaks. It's easy to think of Florida as nothing but beaches and palm trees. But there's a whole heck of a lot more here than that. You have the beaches, of course, but you also have forests, rivers, freshwater springs, farms, ranches, historic towns, and some beautiful rural areas. And you can experience several completely different versions of Florida without ever leaving the state. That's especially true here in Northeast Florida. Jacksonville gives you everything you'd expect from a major city. Sports, concerts, restaurants, business, shopping and nightlife. But drive outside the city and things can change pretty quickly. You can head toward the coast and spend the day around Jacksonville Beach, Neptune Beach, or Atlantic Beach, or maybe Ponte Vedra. Or you can head inland toward places like St. Johns County, Clay County, and some of the smaller communities surrounding Jacksonville, and find a completely different pace of life. there are still places where you can find more land, quieter roads, and a little more breathing. That's one of the things I think makes Northeast Florida unique. You don't necessarily have to choose between city life, beach life, and something a little more rural. Depending on where you live, you can have access to all three. There's St. Augustine. I've been here plenty of times, but riding into St. Augustine never really gets old. There's something pretty special about having a place with this much history right here on the coast. You've got the old city, the architecture, the restaurants, the waterfront, the beaches, and there's always somewhere you haven't explored yet. That's really what today's ride is about. I'm not trying to get anywhere quickly. I'm just taking a few days off, riding one of my favorite roads, and enjoying a place that people travel from all over the country, quite frankly all over the world, to experience. And it's right here at home. Spend a lot of time talking about real estate on this channel because that's what I do for a living, but I also want to spend more time showing you what it's like to actually live here. Because choosing where you want to live isn't only about the house. It's about what happens when you pull out of your driveway. Where can you go? What can you do? What does a Saturday morning look like? What does your day off look like? For me, sometimes it looks exactly like this. Getting on the motorcycle with nowhere I absolutely have to be and taking A1A south towards St. Augustine. And I think that's one of the best parts about living here. You can make an ordinary day feel like a little vacation. Grab the motorcycle or take the convertible out, throw the beach chairs in the truck, find a new restaurant, visit one of the springs, explore a small town you've never stopped in before, or just pick a road like A1A and see where the day takes you. You don't always need a plane ticket and a week's vacation. Sometimes the vacation is already waiting just down the road. that's where we're headed today. Historic A1A South into St. Augustine. No big agenda, just enjoying the ride, enjoying Northeast Florida, and reminding myself that sometimes it's worth slowing down enough to appreciate where you already live. This is the Florida lifestyle that I want to show you more of on this channel. The roads, the beaches, the small towns, the people, the communities, and probably quite a few coffee shops along the way. Welcome to another ride with the First Coast Real Estate Rider. Let's see where the road takes us. Until next time, bye-bye.